Hello, my name is James and welcome to the TGITFH podcast. This is episode 1 of 8. This is the introduction to the podcast, so I'm going to kind of run through how the podcast started, what's in this series, and why you should kind of listen to it. This is kind of like a plug or an advert. Yay, advertising. So, the podcast is going to have, this season of podcasts is going to have 8 episodes. This is the first one. This is just the introduction. It's going to be topic based up to episode 8. So that's going to be quite interesting. Each one is fully scripted, basically. So there's topics that I want to discuss in each one. It's going to have an umbrella topic, and then I'm going to have 3 smaller discussion topics, which I'm going to want people to debate with me. And the topics are designed to provoke a response from people. They're not designed to be, nice or like news items, which this is facts, or things like, this is an iPhone, this is what it can do. It's very controversial, to be honest. I'm really going to be putting words in people's mouths and really twisting things and giving them scenarios that, I want a really good response from. I don't want people to be all namby-pamby and superficial like they are on radio. I want people to really be themselves, and I'm very open to people getting angry or quitting. I'm very into that sort of thing, so that's going to be absolutely fine. If people do go, do you know what, fuck this, I'm off. I'm completely fine with that, and I'm ready for that. There's going to be 2 podcasts that I've written, that I've scripted so far, that are going to probably have negative feedback as well, which I'm ready for. Because the topics are so controversial. They're very, they're going into things that most people don't know about or don't understand, or they're basically slagging something off, and it's going to be quite interesting to hear what people say about that. I'm going to also have interviews with other people, because I did this in the past and it worked fantastically well. It also works better when you work as a team with something like this, so I'm going to try and get people to join on me on Skype and discuss things. And I also like that because it gives other people a voice rather than just me rambling on about absolutely nothing like I am doing now. It gives other people the chance to kind of jump in and say, "Oi, this is what I think and you should listen, blah, 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 blah." And then you just make up your own mind whether you want to agree with that or not. Opinions are not facts, okay? I want to point that out right now. These are very opinionated things, podcasts are very opinionated, and the idea of this is to be a voice. It's not, don't take it seriously. We're not news, we're opinions. I like to, start things up. And the new series I've kind of shaped around The Right Stuff, which is a UK panel show where they get celebrities in and you've got a host and they ask questions and it kind of provokes a response, and then they have like call-ins from people. And tweets and stuff, and people get involved with the discussions, and they're often really controversial, like whether kids should wear expensive clothes, or things like, social media and revenge porn and stuff like that, which is probably going to be a topic that I'm going to discuss as well. So that's going to be quite interesting, and that's where I've kind of taken the basis from. Also, you can now get involved with it. So I want people to start tweeting and sharing stuff on Facebook. Give us your voice. You have a voice as well. We use social media for a voice. It's there to promote stuff. So use Twitter, use Facebook. Don't hold back. Be yourself and just give us your opinions. Let us know what you think. Let's start flame wars is what I'm saying. I prefer starting flame wars and having people being fake and not being themselves. It's just so much better when people really get involved. So if you want to tweet us, go on at TGITFH on Twitter. If you want to go on Facebook and you prefer talking to people on Facebook, then use facebook.com/theguyinthefunnyhatofficial and share with us your ideas and some of your opinions after the shows. Each show is going to run for about a week, and then I'll upload the new one. So that's how it's going to be done. Each one's going to be for a week. If you're on the website, they're only going to be uploaded every week, so you're not going to be able to get the backlog. So that's all sorted. So it all started, this whole podcast idea started when I first started the website, and I thought, I've done radio, and I really liked radio. I did this thing with my older brother, where we went on air at a local radio station, and we talked about absolutely all sorts, but our main thing was a rock show. Now, where I live, most people don't listen to rock music, okay? They listen to donk and dance and normal, typical generic shite that you would get on radio. Oh, I just swore. Do I care? No. So, yeah, people listen to that sort of generic crap that we didn't like, and we were fed up with radio stations playing all this rubbish dance music. So, we went on and did rock, And that's where it all started. And eventually we got quite good at it, and we started to be a bit more out of our shell. And then we came up with this brilliant idea for a live show at the end of it all, because you get to a live show where everyone gets to listen to you live on air. And I think ours was the second or third to last show, so it was getting on a bit. People were tuning in and listening. We got a few complaints from people saying, "Why aren't you playing this? We don't like this song. This music is terrible." Well, sorry, not everyone likes Evanescence, but so what? And we did this for the live show. We got Stephen Hawking. It wasn't Stephen Hawking. It was a voice synthesis program on my phone. And we did an interview with Stephen Hawking live on air. There was another point where I was singing the song and my brother turned up the fader deliberately. So I was singing over the radio for a brief amount of time. Again, we didn't get in trouble for it. It just kind of happened. And it just made the show a little bit more interesting. And it was really, really good. And we really enjoyed it. And so that's where the start of it came from, and the controversial stuff. But then the interview side of it, where I wanted to interview other people, came from a podcast I did about video games and whether video games really make us violent. And the way I did this was I got two gamers. So it was just gamers' opinions. But the reason I chose two gamers is because I knew they would both have different opinions. And they actually ended up agreeing that video games don't make us violent. And we all agreed that video games don't make us violent. But one of them, I can't remember which one it was either Scott or Jake, I don't know which one. But one of them said that up to some extent, video games could actually promote people to maybe believe that some violent acts are considered okay. And I brought up really controversial video games like Manhunt, GTA, and Postal 2, which is one that many people don't go into. And I think Postal 2 is one of the most controversial games ever created. It's a kind of fuck you to the video game industry, and I highly recommend people checking it out. Just look up gameplay of it. All I have to say is cat silencers. So yeah, I mentioned that, and we got a really good debate going about video games. And I didn't ask too many questions because I didn't want to put words into people's mouths, but it was really interesting to hear their opinions. So that's where the interview side really came from, and that's what I want to do again. I want to get people's really strong opinions out into the wild and get people talking about them and get flame wars going and really start stirring the bucket of things. So yeah, prepare for some very controversial topics about some things which people might not agree with. I'm going to be dragging social media through the mud. I'm going to be going against something that I shouldn't be going against because I've worked in it, but hey, which is cloud computing. I'm going to be dragging that through the mud. I'm going to be dragging through people's grammar. I'm going to be slagging off a lot of people's grammar on the internet. I'm also going to be talking about things like the deep web, revenge porn, really controversial topics, really deep stuff. So if you don't like controversial topics, do not tune in. But if you do want to really, get your opinion out, if you really do like controversial stuff and you really do like sour things, and things that are a bit sort of twisted and a bit weird, then definitely check it out. It's going to start off tame, and then it's going to get more and more progressively I don't know how you'd explain it, more controversial. I'm just going to keep saying the word controversial because there's no other way to describe it. It is, everyone has their own opinions and you should celebrate them. And also I am going to be breaking rules. This is a thing with radio. With radio, you have to be quite conservative. You have to be very polite. You have to talk as if you're meeting the Queen, to be honest. It's really, you cannot swear on radio at all. That is forbidden. You can't give a negative opinion. So if you play a song on the radio like Beat It by Michael Jackson and you hate that song, you can't sit there in the studio and go, I hate that song, I think it's absolutely shit. You can't say that. The minute you say I hate that song, time out. The minute you say I think it's shit, that's it, you cut. Bye bye, see you later. If you do that on a podcast like this, there's practically no rules to this. So hey, this is where the whole flame war comes in. So I want to really kind of be out there. I'm going to try and, just because I don't really think there's any need for swearing, I'm going to try and keep the swearing down on the podcast because, to be honest, they're all scripted. There's going to be certain questions. So I'm not really going to be swearing. I'm not going to be like, that's a load of fucking shit. It's a load of fucking rubbish. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm not going to be like that, but I am going to be open for people to swear if they do. If they think someone's a bastard, then they can say it. I'm not going to stop them. I'm not going to censor it. If that offends you, well, sorry. Offence is taken, not given. We don't mean to cause offence, but we do mean to cause controversies, and we do mean to cause debate, possibly heated debate and flame wars and arguments, but we don't want people to get offended. Offense is something different anyway, so that's all well and good. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown of the podcast. It's 8 episodes, each one's about 20 minutes. They're going to be about controversial techie topics, about all sorts of crazy stuff, from social media and how we interact with social media, all the way up to discussions about things like the deep web, revenge porn, and whether we have actual security on the internet. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely check it out. I'll put a link in the website down below to the website where the podcast is going to be uploaded when the second episode is going to be done. And that'll be constant, so you'll be able to tune in. And also make sure you share this, like this, and get a discussion going in the comment section about what you want to see in this podcast. Remember to follow us on Twitter at TGITFH. Had a bit of a hiccup there. And also check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/theguyinthefunnyhat official. And I'll see you in the next podcast episode when this whole debate kicks off.